What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. 3-game WNBA slate on Monday night. A couple late night games. I kind of enjoy those when we don't get all the games at one time, so get overloaded on news. But pretty good slate overall. 10K to first. I just want to take a quick second and thank everybody. We surpassed 500 subscribers on YouTube. It's truly been a crazy journey. Never would have thought like this many people would watch my videos, let alone subscribe, hop in the Discord, interact on a day-to-day basis. It's been just an awesome time. Really thankful for everybody. But that's enough of that. Let's kick it over here. I ended up making a second line. If anybody was in the live stream, there was a ton of overlay. Sadly, neither of my lines cashed. I did get a good game out of Chelsea Gray. Mentioned I didn't want to play her in my original line, and I played her in the backup one. I just did a 2v2 swap. I played Natasha Howard and Chelsea Gray. Sadly, neither of them helped me cash. JC Sheldon, 18 fantasy points in 23 minutes. For some reason, she was playing well. They just didn't close with her. They played Sevgi Uzun the entire fourth quarter, and she come in like late third. So pretty disappointing. And another thing, it's not even going to show the other lineup. Oh well. The other thing was I was extremely high on Odyssey Sims. All night, I built my lineup last night, had her in it, and then we got the Gustafson news that she was starting, and I pivoted off of Sims, and she went crazy. But before we go over these odds, I did finish in tie for third with someone in the Discord on Underdog. Won $912.50. We had 4 of the top 12 in this contest. Just crazy. So tied for third, an 8th, and then a 13th. And the screenshot channel in the Discord is just going crazy. It is torching hot. So when I don't do well, it makes me happy seeing everyone else do really well. So the past like week and a half has been just insane. The wins that I've seen, but Underdog. We'll just go ahead and talk about Underdog real quick before we go into these games. Tomorrow it's a 6-person draft. It's 3 games, 4K to first. I will have rankings out here in just a little while. I can tell you right now, there are some massive mispriced, misprojected players. So you definitely want to jump on that before they get corrected, probably in the morning. So I'll be doing a bunch of drafts tonight. I'll have that out in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, you absolutely need to hop in there because there is a huge edge on this slate that I'll be sharing here shortly. But let's kick it back over here for the DFS, what you guys are mostly here for. Fever at the Dream, 2.5 point spread, over under 166.5. I love this game. I think it's going to be really good with the way the Dream's been playing. Same with the Fever as well. Liberty at the Mercury, 5 point spread, over under 162.5. I think that's going to be a pretty good game because it's in Phoenix. Mystics at the Storm, 9.5 point spread, over under 160. I think this is a pretty wide spread for Washington that's fully healthy now. I think that's a bit wide, but let's kick it back over here and break it down team by team real quick. On the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark at the top, 11.5K. She's getting to that point where it's really hard to fade her. Her legs look extremely fresh. She has massive peripheral upside every night. The turnovers are a bit of a problem, but you live with it with a player like her. Just her playmaking ability. Turnovers are just going to happen. It's just part of her game. We're still looking for one of those days where she shoots like 13 of 18 and she just absolutely piss nukes with like a 70 burger. But she plays practically the entire game, and she has arguably next to Asia Wilson and maybe Fee at the moment the biggest upside of any player in the WNBA. So if you have the salary, I definitely don't mind playing Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston, price continues to drop a little bit. She's playing big minutes, grabbing a ton of boards. I think she makes for a great tournament play. Kelsey Mitchell's another one that's a great tournament play. She's pretty score independent, but if she pops, she really pops. Nalissa Smith, I'm out on. If you look, she played 10 minutes against Minnesota. I mentioned they ran her off the floor without Fee. They really ran her off the floor when Fee was on the floor. So I think Atlanta could possibly do the same thing. They also want to play Fagbinley and Dantas. So I think that really just kills Nalissa Smith. It hurts Fagbinley. She still played 16 minutes. She's a good fantasy point per minute player. I think you can go there for tournaments. I'm pretty much out on Katie Lou. Only 14 minutes. Not a good fantasy point per minute player anyway. Lexi Hull got extended a little bit. She needs to hit her shots to hit value, but the extra minutes are a plus. Dantas, another one. She took 10 shots in 17 minutes. She's a pretty good scorer and can get you some rebounds. So shot 0 of 5 from 3, but not a bad player at 4,600. So everyone else, just no interest in. On the Atlanta side, Tina Charles, 9,900, still playing just massive minutes. She's going to play mid-30s minutes and just stuffs the stat sheet. She's grabbing a ton of rebounds. She's scoring in double figures, one of the best scorers ever in the WNBA. Can get you a couple blocks. Big ceiling on a player like her. Ryan Howard at 9,600 is a fine tournament play. We all know Indiana struggles on defense. Alicia Gray's a good tournament play. Jordan Canada's probably my favorite of these three guards because she's the cheapest. If she's scoring the ball well, she has a huge ceiling. The problem is her scoring is really erratic at times. So if you catch her on a poor shooting game, you need the peripherals and the stocks to be there. Naz Hillman, super disappointing last time out, but still saw quality minutes, 27. She's a fine play in the mid-range. Everyone else, I'm completely out on. You can go back to Kabaj if you want. She's going to play 6 to 10 minutes. Not a very good fantasy point per minute player, so tough to really just click her with any kind of confidence. On the New York side, Stewie at the top, 11.3K. She's going to play low 30s minutes. She commands a ton of usage. She's super efficient on most nights. Shooting right around 50% from the field. She's going to grab a bunch of rebounds. She's going to stuff the stat sheet. She's super long. She can get you stocks. She's a great passer. And she always has 25 plus real life point upside. So another quality spend up, but you can only play so many. So it's going to be tough sledding, deciding which ones to play. Sabrina Ionescu, 9,500. I mean, she's sub 10K. There's a lot to like there. Same with Jonquel Jones. She busted extremely hard against Connecticut. Really tough matchup. 9,100 is a crazy price. Sabrina, only 28 minutes in her return. Fully expect her to tick back up to like that 31, 32 minute range. Shot 3 of 13. She can stuff the stat sheet as well. Vandersloot still saw 24 minutes. Would expect as Sabrina's minutes start to tick back up, we might see a downtick in Sloot's minutes just because they want her healthy and fully rested for the playoffs. Fibic, playing low 30s minutes. She's a good player. Just a good all-around player. Can do a little bit of everything. She's a good three-point shooter, and she's going to get open shots. Only thing is I don't really love her at that 7,300 price tag. Kayla Thornton, 6,500. I'm staying away from. Coming off the bench, there's just not a lot to like there. I'm expecting Benaja Laney to be back. She looked good in warm-ups last game. They held her out. But everything that I've read from Sandy Brondello, they're expecting Benaja Laney to play here, which would move Fibic back to the bench. Benaja Laney should be healthy. Would expect high 20s, low 30s minutes. I think she looks really good at 6,200. Everyone else I'm pretty much out on. I just don't think they're going to get enough run as this team starts to get healthy. I think Baby Sabali, if you're going to play anyone down here, I think she's the one that could, she's going to keep her 10 to 12 minutes a night. On the Phoenix side, well, if it would click off in New York. On the Phoenix side, Kalia Copper, 10-1. Obviously just a crazy high ceiling. If the shots are falling, she commands a ton of usage. When she's on the floor, she's going to shoot it a lot. Always mention her peripheral stats are really up and down. If she's grabbing boards and dishing the ball, she has 50-point upside. Obviously a super low floor. when she's not getting the peripheral stats and not scoring the ball well. So makes for a contrarian tournament spend up. BG sub 10K, tough matchup, but I mean, there's not many players that have the upside that BG has. I mean, 46 in her last game against Atlanta in 33 minutes. She's just super efficient most of the time shooting the ball. She can put up these games. The peripheral stats are really hit or miss for her sometimes, but I think she makes for a great tournament play. Natasha Cloud at 9K, not been very good of late. I think I'm just going to stay away with everyone healthy. She's just not asked to do a lot on offense. If she pops for a really good shooting game, it sucks, but there's so many good plays here, especially at guard. Diana Taurasi, 8,100. You can play her. She's playing at home. She plays a lot better at home, so I have no issues going there in tournaments. Sophie Cunningham, I'm expecting her to continue to play low to mid 30s minutes. She can stuff the stat sheet. She doesn't shoot the ball very much, but she can hit a couple threes and really pop for a good fantasy game. Monique Billings at 6,400 is a perfectly fine play. Celeste Taylor at the flat men. This we need to talk about because she played 10 minutes immediately. The first game that she rejoined this Phoenix Mercury team, played 10 minutes. Obviously, she's not the best fantasy point per minute player, but if she's going to see 10 minutes at the flat men price, I have some interest. Everyone else, I'm pretty much out on Mac. You can play her if you think BG was to get in foul trouble or anything. Herbert Harrigan's just going to DNP. Do not play her. Late game, Washington at Seattle. On the Washington side, Brittany Sykes over 9K. Huge game. We nailed this game against the Sparks. She absolutely smashed. Played 32 minutes. Fully free of her minutes restriction. Big ceiling for a player like her. Not the best matchup. She just struggled in this matchup a few days ago. Shot 5 of 16. The usage is still there. Still put up 31.5 fantasy points, so she can still get there for sure. Atkins, 8,800. Another one that can get there. This Seattle team was playing really good defense. They've kind of let up and slacked off a little bit of late, but we're going to talk about that team here in just a bit. I think Atkins makes for a great tournament play. Shakira Austin looks like an incredible tournament play. She played 25 minutes last time out against Seattle. Played 21 here against the Sparks in their last game. She was sick, though. I'm expecting her to get back to this right around this 25-minute mark. She's an incredibly efficient fantasy point per minute player, and she stuffs the stat sheet. Love her at that price point. Dolson is fine at 7,700. Edwards is fine at 6,700. Not interested in either of them like to build a team around. I think they're fine as last pieces in. Carly Samuelson is questionable. I'm not really sure if she's going to play or not, but I don't think it changes too much. Like, I don't really want to play SWK or Van Loo on this slate anyway, so really doesn't matter on any of that stuff. I'm not interested in anyone else down here. On the Seattle side, we got to talk about Gabby Williams being priced at 4,100 on Draftkings and the flat minimum on FanDuel. I personally think they're just going to instantly put her back in the starting lineup over Jordan Horston, and they're just going to condense their rotation and run just a really tight rotation. But I'll tell you guys this now. Even if Gabby Williams comes off the bench, I think she is a must play at 4,100. It's just, I just think she's going to play plenty enough to pay that price tag off. I think she's at least $3,000 too cheap, even for her first game back. But let's talk about the big four up here. NECA, 10.5K. I think she makes for a fine tournament spend up. Joel Lloyd's price continues to drop. She can pop any slate and go crazy. Ezzy at 9,200. Obviously has a big ceiling but a lower floor. The shot attempts haven't been the best of late. SDS has been really solid of late. I have a lot of interest in her at 8,600. Horston, I'm probably out on because, like I mentioned, I think Gabby Williams takes her starting job. And I think really what we're going to see is the starting five of SDS, Lloyd, Williams, NECA, and Ezzy. And we're going to see Horston off the bench, Whitcomb off the bench, and you're going to see one rotation for Mercedes Russell. And they're just going to go small for little breathers in the second half because they have Gabby Williams who can play the small ball 4. They have Jordan Horston who can play the small ball 4. I think they're really going to run a 7-girl rotation. I think this team is going to be fantastic to target going forward. I love the spot for this team, and I'm very, very excited to watch Gabby Williams play. Super happy that she's back in the WNBA. But if you guys enjoy this content, once again, just want to say thank you to everybody for hitting the subscribe button. I'm truly speechless that we're over 500 subscribers. Now we're on the road to 1,000. I mean, we'll see how long that takes, but I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. Really helps it reach more people. But we'll be live before lock tomorrow, before the slate starts. Hop in there, ask some questions, or just come hang out. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Good luck to you, and we'll see you tomorrow.